to the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. It is the 3rd day of June, 2024, about 9:30 Central Time, my time. Attempting to go live, shooting live from the kitchen dining area. Whenever your show is small, going live is a hit and miss. Sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss. Hoping tonight it is a hit. So if you're watching this after the fact, after it's uploaded, that means that we had some people in the lobby, which is good. First game I witnessed, Super Bowl 28 against Buffalo. Ever since then, I played blue and silver, no rhyme or reason. Saw us fall against San Fran the following year and then beat Pittsburgh the following year, the 95 season, to win our last trophy. Been a student of the game my entire life. Played my entire youth. So I've got 30 years on this team, and the Joneses. Calypso, my man, I knew you'd be the first one in. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you joining me. Title of this show is Gifts of Gallup Part 2, and yesterday we lost a legend in the great Larry Allen. I got to meet him in 2002, Wichita Falls training camp. He signed my football, still have it. In 2002, I'm about, 12 years old, something like that? No. Hell, this had to be in 2000, actually. I was about 13. And he signed my football. Emmitt Smith walked away. At this point, Michael Irvin was already gone. Aikman was gone. Emmitt was only part of the trio still there. He wasn't signing balls that day, but other guys were. Larry Allen was, and he was. I gave him my football. Nice, big old gentle giant, signed it. Never seen a man that big in my life. Arguably the strongest man to ever play in the NFL. So, only in 52 years of age, 52 years old, he passed away. So, if you're watching this after the fact, or now, let's have a moment of silence for the man. He deserves it. Arguably the best offensive lineman to ever play. Now, guys, if you're watching this after the fact, or you're watching it live, that sub button is free. It costs you nothing. I'm 101 away from 500, then to 1,000. Especially when I hit 1,000, the show will skyrocket. I'll be able to invest in it, desktop, so I can show you film and graphics, studio equipment, sound bites. Zooey Cool Cold Smith. What's going on, my man? Appreciate you joining in. And a call-in line for when the show gets bigger. Chris Gons, thanks for jumping in. Chance ran the channel. Rand Oven, Trisha Bowman, Evelyn Esperance Monk. I can't keep up. Wow. Thank you guys for joining in. Larry Allen, in his 12-year career, went to 10 Pro Bowls. Check this out. I didn't know this about him. He played every position on the O-line except center. From 94 to 97, right guard, right tackle. 98, left tackle. And then 99 on, left guard. Chance ran a channel. I am doing all right. Are you high? No, I've got Tourette's. So it manifests itself in coughs and whatnot. NYC, welcome. 22 people in here. Wow. The one and only Ron and Don Smith. What's up, my man? Appreciate it, brother. I am trying to. If y'all are watching this content for the first time, please subscribe, guys. Help me get to 500. That's the first, platform. When I hit 500, guys, I will have a giveaway of an Emmitt Smith Rookie of the Year card. 1990, mint condition, in a folder of mine I've had for the longest time. Larry Allen went to 7 straight. He had 7 straight All-Pro seasons from 94 to 01. I mean, 7 straight All-Pro seasons at 3 different positions. Right tackle, and then in 98 left tackle, and then 99 through 01 left guard. 2-time Super Bowl champion. He was a member of the All-Decades team of the 90s and 2000s. He's benched 700 pounds, as we know, squatted 900. A lot of people say he's the strongest man ever play in the league. Probably the best lineman ever play in the NFL. A lot of people like to compare young Tyler Smith to Larry Allen. Yeah, I like that Calypso. Let's try to reach 60 views. Son, if you can keep it down, I appreciate it. I'm shooting this right now in the kitchen and living room. Yeah, he bent 700 pounds, Chris, back in like '01. The weights were so heavy that it was bending the steel bar that he was using to bench. I believe it was a record for the NFL or Guinness, one of the two, but sad that we lost him. He was only 52 years of age. Sad that we lost him yesterday. Rebecca Brody, thanks for jumping in. Every subscriber counts, guys. Like I said, once I hit 500, what am I smoking? I have Tourette syndrome. That's what I'm smoking, that guy. Thank God you don't have Tourette's, man. Everybody has something. That's what I have. But I don't let it hold me back. Now, we're going to pick up where we left off. That 9.5 million is in effect now. Raiders. Boy, the Raiders really ruined my Thanksgiving in 2021. I tell you that. The Raiders did that overtime game. Oh, man. That's why I'm glad we have division foes last couple of years on Thanksgiving. I think we have the Giants this year on Thanksgiving. So, Rebel, you ever been to a cloning facility? That guy, know the pen, thought you were doing a dab. Bills for life. So, Calypso is a Bills fan. Much love from New Zealand, bro. Conrad Ruka. I appreciate it. If you hit the subscribe button, I'll really appreciate it. Help me get to 500, guys. Now that 9.5 million is available. And Trisha Bowman, thank you. Now, there's actually a lot more free agents out there than we actually realize. Conrad Ruka, dumb bro. I play games, oil up. You actually kind of hoarse. Oh, it's all good, that guy. It's all good, my man. Guys, if y'all hit that red subscribe button, it's free. It costs you nothing. If you don't like my content here in the future, you can unsubscribe. It costs you nothing also. But I guarantee you, soon enough, this show will be one of the shows you look forward to watching. That's for damn sure. Sarah, how you doing? Appreciate you jumping in. Now, with that 9.5 million, we will make a move. Hold on. As a, the Joneses say, thank you, Tora Michelle, for subbing. Thank you very much. The Joneses say player acquisition is a 365-day-a-year type deal, right? So that 9.5 million is free and available to use. So I've got all the free agents that are still out there right now. Top 5 in each position. Wide receiver, we're pretty much good, right? Offensive line, with our promising rookies, we're not really worried about that. I think Connor Beebe and Tyler Guyton are going to start day one. Beebe probably be better of the two. Guyton will hold down the left tackle position as well, as we expect. And they're run blocking guys. So, top 5 free agent running backs right now. Dalvin Cook, who didn't do much with the Jets last season. But you never know. You know what I mean? Cam Akers, he's young still, behind a really good O-line. You never know what he could do. Latavius Murray is still out there. Matt Breida. Matt Breida is a speed back. Yeah, Chris Gons, a defensive tackle is important too. I'm going to get to that here in a second. Running back and DT are 2 glaring spots. We have the money right now to get both. Matt Breida. He's not a spring chicken anymore. But in his day, he was a speed back. Guy has, Tony Pollard type speed. He's not young like TP is anymore, but it's going to be running back by committee. Right now, Zeke Elliott is RB1. Rico Dowdle RB2. And that guy we signed, not even worth remembering, is Royce Freeman. He's not going to make the team. He's a hammer back, but never was very good. And, Deuce Vaughn, I don't know. They're playing him right now as slot receiver. He might make the team, but I don't trust him as back number 3. Matt Breida or Jerick McKinnon, one of those two guys, would be exactly what we need to offset Elliott and Dowdle. Dowdle is your all-around back. Breida and McKinnon and Dalvin Cook are your scat back type guys. And then we got Elliott back, the hammer. Zeke, the hammer. You know, so how many people are watching? Because it was like 23, now it says 1. But there's still a lot of people in the chats. If y'all are watching the show, stay, guys. Stay for a minute. And let's talk football. I appreciate y'all jumping in, but, it was like 23 people and now 1. If y'all jump in, guys, and we have a big crowd, why not stay and talk football? The Tommy, what's up, my man? I appreciate you being here. Every subscription counts, guys. I'm closing in on 500. That's my first milestone. I'm telling you, this show will skyrocket to where y'all be looking forward to watching my show, like y'all look forward to watching Law Nation or Mark Holmes or Rome or whoever you would like to watch. Tom Downey, Charles in Charge, Cowboy Sports Report will be up there. I guarantee you that. I've got enough skins on the wall. You need 50? That's awesome, man. I wish I just needed 50. I need 100 to get to 500. I'm getting closer. And then after that, 1,000. But if we bring in all 5 of them, hell, bring in all 5 of them. Bring in Dalvin Cook, Cam Akers, Latavius Murray, Matt Breida, and Jerick McKinnon. Bring them all in for a cup of coffee. See which one would fit our system the best and which one would have the better deal. Cam Akers has youth, the youngest of the 5. Matt Breida has the most speed of the 5. So I can live stream, I need 50. Actually, Tommy, you can stream regardless. I thought you had to have 1,000 subscribers to stream. No, that's not true. You could stream live if you have 5 subscribers. Law Nation taught me that. We DM back and forth. He's the one that influenced me to start my own deal. If I knew it was this easy to start your own Cowboy show, I'd have done it 10 years ago and had 1 million subscribers by now. Pineapple Helper 559, welcome. Please don't flood the chat with hi, but I'm glad you are here. Chris Gons, you are the moderator. So please regulate and do what you do. So I bring all 5 in for a cup of coffee. If Dalvin Cook still has enough juice in the tank for one more season, sign him to a 1-year deal. Dalvin Cook, Zeke Elliott, Rico Dowdle. That's good running back by committee behind a run-blocking offensive line. And if Terrence Steele is healthy this season, he's one of the best run-blocking right tackles in the game. Connor Beebe is a mauler. All-pro at left and right guard. Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, and Tyler Guyton has the makings to be the next Flozell Adams or Tyron Smith. I think this draft, just like 2022, we're going to have at least 5 impact players as rookies like we did in 2022. I promise you'll get a bunch of subscribers one day. Well, if it happens, Pineapple Helper 559, it happens. But I just enjoy talking ball. I enjoy talking Cowboys. I enjoy talking the NFL. It is what it is. And then on defensive tackle, my dream signing on DT would be Calais Campbell. That man is a monster. Chris Gons, you still on here? If you still on here, say something. Calais Campbell, 38 years old, still a wrecking machine up the middle, can clog the middle, can also play D end also at his age. Now he's made his money. You would think that he would start ring chasing. Last season, I was hoping that we'd sign him, being that we had, a lot more DTs than we do right now, including Hankins. All right, Chris Gons, that pineapple dude, if he keeps tripping, do what you do. You're a moderator. You got the blue name. So, yeah, I'm going to get to Linville Joseph in a second. Calais Campbell, though. Where's Prescott? Prescott is at OTAs, Tommy. I mean, yeah, he's at voluntary workouts. He's making his money. And we're going to get to Justin Jefferson here in a second, which will correlate to CeeDee Lamb. Will there be a holdout, or is he going to, get his deal by training camp? What? Justin Jefferson's contract is $35 million annual per year, $110 million guaranteed, the most by a non-quarterback in NFL history. But technically, besides Tyreek Hill, he's the best receiver in the NFL. Lamb's not far behind him, though. Look at their stats. They were both drafted in the same season. Their stats are pretty similar. Jefferson has more yardage, 750 more yards, but other than that, Lamb has some more catches, a few more tubs, pretty neck and neck. But Calais Campbell, Lawrence Guy, Linville Joseph, who knows Mike Zimmer's scheme, and would be a good rotational body. Al Woods is still out there. If you don't remember Al Woods, yeah, CD will get his money. I'm sure he will, man. The Joneses, for some reason, I think they were waiting on Justin Jefferson to get his deal so they would know what, Lamb is going to want. Lamb can't demand Justin Jefferson money because he has not been as good as JJ. I mean, JJ, from his rookie year, balled out. He was injured last season, but from a pure wide receiver standpoint, he's been better all 4 years, besides last season. Now, CD might become the better guy in time. We'll see. Yeah, Stephon Diggs is a Texan now. He's got skills, man. He's a good number one. And he's going to make Houston that much more of a threat in the AFC. We get to play him this season. That's our 17th game, but we get to play him at home. We have a lot of big games this season, and they are at home, and that is key because we play great at home. Hope so, Charles, because Jamar Chase is going to get his money from Cincy. Yeah, but Jamar Chase might not get paid till next season. So, Jerry Jones said he wanted to see a few more leaves fall and this and that. I think he's referring to JJ, see what JJ gets. Even if CeeDee Lamb gets 35 a year, 4 years, $140 million, he's worth it. Look at his stats from 2020 through 2023. It got better every season in every aspect. Targets, catches, yards, touchdowns, everything. Last season he had 1,750 yards, 12 tubs, 130-something catches. Only Cowboy in NFL history to have over 100 catches in multiple seasons. Witten did it once, Michael Irvin did it once, and that's it. But at defensive tackle, top 5 free agents out there. Calais Campbell, which would be the best guy for us to get. Lawrence Guy, also. Linville Joseph would be effective, being that he knows the scheme very well. He is not near what he used to be, but he would be a good body to put in there. Al Woods and Tysa Alulu. Al Woods, he's got some age on him too, ex-Cowboy. But even if, what we have right now, just right now, on the roster, even if Mozzie Smith were to flourish in this scheme, they're saying Mozzie Smith fits in better with Mike Zimmer's scheme than Dan Quinn's. He looks pretty slim right now, even though they say he's almost at 330. He don't look like he's 330 pounds. He looked like he's a 3-4 defensive end. That's what he's looking like. We want Mozzie to, like Tom Downey says, fatty's only club, to pack on the pounds, be a fatty, be a big dude to clog up the middle. Don't need much stats. Don't need sacks or TFLs or pressures or tackles. All you need to do is to be able to take on a guard in the center at one time and have them both on you and hold them so the linebackers can run sideline to sideline. That's what made the 2000 Ravens defense the greatest ever, because they had 2 nose tackles next to each other in a 4-3 defense. Calypso wrote in Japanese or something. I don't know if y'all are old enough to remember the 2000 Ravens defense. I got to witness it. They beat us 27-0 that season, and our defense had 2 interceptions in that game. Emmitt Smith had a 15-yard run up the middle, and they said that was the second longest run allowed by Baltimore that year. We have Osa, Carl Davis, Mozzie Smith, and of course, not good depth. Yeah, we got those guys. Chauncey Golston, technically a DT. He's a tweener. And then we have that 7th-round pick that we got with our last pick of the draft. Nose tackle, one tech. But we need a veteran presence in there. The best guy would be Calais Campbell, of course. If not, Linval Joseph, just because of the knowledge of the defense. That's why Eric Kendricks is so important, because of the knowledge of he's going to quarterback the defense. Van Der Esch, neck problems forced him out the game. New defensive scheme. So Eric Kendricks is going to be the one with the microphone in the helmet, calling the plays, calling audibles, all that. And it's going to work out great because he's the elder guy, right? Not in his prime anymore, but he can still play very effectively. And behind him, you got DeMar Young, overshown, supposed to be a star last season, going into second year. Clark going into year 3, had a great rookie year. Last year, we thought he was going to be something big. He didn't live up. Don't mean that this year he can't be what we think he is. And then we got that 3rd-round pick from Notre Dame. So we got a veteran with a ton of youth behind him at linebacker. Now, it's crucial that we get the defensive tackle situation organized. I'm going back to the 2000 Ravens. I didn't finish. The reason why they were the best defense to ever play ball. They allowed 960 rush yards in a 16-game season. They didn't even allow 1,000 total rush yards because that defensive tackle, they didn't have 2-3 techs. They had 2 nose tackles. They had 2 guys that could play nose tackle in a 3-4 scheme on that 4-3 defense. And Tony Siragusa and Sam Adams. 2 guys that were 330 plus, side by side. And them 2 guys would clog up the offensive line so bad that Ray Lewis, Jamie Sharper, and Peter Boulware would run untouched, sideline to sideline to the ball carrier. I mean, it was easy for them. And then the defensive ends, Michael McCrary and the other guy, got to feast off it too. A good defense starts up front. We know that. Having good edge guys is good, but the interior of that line. That's why San Francisco 49ers defense has been so good for the last 3 or 4 years because they have really good defensive tackles. Last season they went out and got Javon Hargrave. Eric Armstead they've had. They've had a lot of good DTs. Philly's defensive line has been very good. Secondary trash, but defensive line with Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, and then replenishing it with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. They had Tony Siragusa and Sam Adams monsters. Yeah, Chris Gons. I don't know how old you are if you remember watching that defense, but I remember them beating us 27-0 and Emmitt Smith getting 15 yards up the middle, and I was like, "Ooh, that was a big play for us," because we couldn't move the football. And when the announcer said that was the second longest run that they allowed all season, I was like, "No way, 15 yards!" And Baltimore's defense was, looking disappointed, like, "Damn, man, we let Emmitt run 15 yards on us." 27-0. This defense has a chance of being one of the, single season historically great defenses, like the 2015 no-fly zone, the LOB of 2013, 2014, 02 Bucks, the 99 Bucks who were a game away from the Super Bowl, the 03-04 Patriots who didn't have a nickname on the defense. Chris McAllister was a physical cornerback, and Dwayne Starks. Yeah, they had 2 lockdown corners. They had Rod Woodson, who was corner at free safety because he was older, but he was really good at free safety. Then Cam Herring at strong safety. And then you got Ray Lewis in the middle, and then your outside linebackers, Jamie Sharper and Peter Boulware, all pro guys. I mean, just that defense was insane. And they ran a 4-3 scheme. You're 38, I'm 37. So, yeah, we're about the same timeline. So you probably do remember that 27-0 loss in the year 2000 against Baltimore at Baltimore. That was Emmitt's third to last year with us. That was Troy Aikman's last season with us. Now, wide receivers. Michael Thomas is still out there. even though he's a shell of himself. Corey Davis. Y'all remember that guy, right? If we gave Martavius Bryant a shot, who was out of the game for a long 6 years, something like that, Corey Davis retired for a year, came out of retirement. Eric Wallace, man, thanks for jumping in. There was 25 people here at one time. They all got together, were saying hi to everybody, and then now it was 2 people. Next time that happens, I'm gonna say if y'all jump in, stay in, so we can all talk ball. Yeah, Baltimore, Tennessee shut us out. We played Tennessee the last game of that season. Chris Gons, am I not mistaken? I don't remember the final score though. I don't remember the final score. I remember it was 0-0 at halftime though. I remember that because the head coach, the hell was his name, said that Baltimore was going to turn off the game at halftime because if Tennessee beat us, they would have the division clinched. Yeah, I know you're going to say, Eric. I'm just saying, in the first 3 minutes, a whole bunch of people I don't even know came in. It's kind of cool getting some subscribers that way. But Corey Davis ought to be somebody that we bring in and try out because he was really good when he played ball for Denver. He retired, not sure why, for the season, but now he's back. If we let Martavius Bryant, try out, why not Corey Davis? He could be something special. Sterling Shepard is out there. He wasn't a bad receiver. He has speed. He had Danny Dimes as his quarterback, no offensive line. Nicole Hardman is out there. That guy's pure speed. They drafted him in, 2019 to team up with Tyreek Hill as 2 speedsters. And Randall Cobb is still out there. So barring an injury on the wide receiver core, I think CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, why do I get brain farts when I'm doing shows? Fucking wide receiver number 3 out of South Alabama will be ready to take over what Michael Gallup and Devontae Turpin is starting to emerge at receiver. Tight ends, we ain't got to worry about tight ends. Jake Ferguson is going to be a 1,000-yard guy this season. He is the next Jason Kelsey. No, Travis Kelsey. He's the next Travis Kelsey. Jake, mark my words on that. He's our next Jason Witten. Yeah, you're right, Charles. We got shut out 31 to 0 the last game. Okay, so Tennessee did shut us out. But at halftime, it was 0-0. I remember that. Now, offensive tackle, David Bakhtiari is still out there. And he is healthy from injury. If you want depth or if you want a short thing at left tackle, go spend some money and get David Bakhtiari. But we know Jones will never do that. Dwayne Brown and Jason Peters still out there. 2 elder statesmen. Jason Peters, future gold jacket guy. DJ Humphries and Charles Leno. All of those guys are better than Chuma Edoga, I believe, who is going to be our swing tackle. I would rather have a good swing tackle. Depth is the name of the game, and we all know that. Offensive guards out there, Dalton Reisner. Just like last season, Dalton Reisner didn't get picked up until training camp, and he's a pretty good offensive guard. Other than that, you got Justin Pugh, Wyatt Davis, DJ Fluker, and Trey Turner. Trey Turner's not bad either. But we're not really worried about that because TJ Bass is one of our gems as UDFA. He is our swing guard, and he's pretty good. How are you, Charles? It's going to be different out here in Seattle, Washington. Did you just move to Seattle, Eric? Or have you always lived there? We do not play Seattle this season, I don't think. I'm glad that we do not. Defensive ends. You got Emmanuel Ogba, Yannick Navdaku, I can never say those names, Carl Lawson, Shaq Lawson, Jerry Hughes. At defensive end, we're pretty good and solid. We got veterans. We got middle-aged guys, and we got young guys. Our starting bookend, is pretty good. I mean, we got best run stopping DN and D-Law and one of the best pass rushers in this day and age. And Parsons as starting defensive tackles, and Sam Williams, and our second round pick this year. Names are escaping me tonight. Linebackers, you got Shaq Leonard, Zach Cunningham, Quan Alexander, Josh Woods. We're good at linebacker. Cornerbacks. Now, Adoree Jackson is out there. I didn't know this. Adoree Jackson is a pretty good cornerback, but if he's going to sign with somebody, he's going to have to accept the number 4 role, which a lot of corners like him would not want to. Gilmore is still out there. If Gilmore would sign for like 1 year, $3 million, it'd be a beautiful get. I know Kalen Carson, there's a lot of buzz around that day 3 pick at corner. A lot of people think, he's got the skills like DeRon Bland has. I've always lived out here in Seattle, but Pete Carroll retired. Oh, did he? Charles, have you noticed we got bigger with Mike Zimmer? Yeah. Mike Zimmer likes big linebackers. He would never have Marquise Bell at linebacker. Dan Quinn, more of a chess guy, you know what I mean? He likes to move guys around a little bit more. But Dan Quinn assembled a really, really good defensive roster. So Mike Zimmer is really inheriting a really good defense. He just needs some tackles, really, and that's about it. I mean, but Kalen Carson is unproven, and if we can get Gilmore, or even Xavier Howard, who is coming off injury and is older, or Adoree Jackson, or J.C. Jackson, or Steven Nelson, I prefer Gilmore. He's coming off a shoulder injury. I know he's 34, but he's still very good. He's just crossers can get him if he's covering a young, fast guy, and because he don't have that speed no more. But he's very solid. He played very good last year, and we need depth at corner in case one goes down. Yeah, we got Diggs and Blaine on the outside, right? All pros. Jordan Lewis in the slot. He's been a slot guy since 2017. But God forbid one of them goes down. Then we got to rely on an unknown, like we did 2 years ago with DeRon Bland, but, you don't always get that lucky. So if we had Stephon Gilmore, then Trayvon Diggs, don't have to rush back. He can take his time. Stephon Gilmore, love to have him back. Yeah, he played well. I go back to the Seattle game when DK Metcalf was eating DeRon Bland's lunch. And DQ went to Gilmore and said, look, cover 14 at halftime. And in the second half, DK didn't have a catch. You got to have that veteran presence in that position. On the defensive line, you got DeMarcus Lawrence as the veteran leader. Michael Parsons, is who he is. D-Law is the leader. The linebacking group, you got Eric Kendricks as the leader, the elder statesman. At safety, you got Malik Hooker as the leader, the elder statesman. The veteran. At corner, Trayvon Diggs is the oldest guy. Gilmore provides that veteran leadership and mentors younger guys. DeRon Bland benefited from having Gilmore on the team last season. Kalen Carson would benefit from having Gilmore on the team this season. If we want to go all in, we get a running back, a defensive tackle or two, and another corner. Other than that, and maybe an offensive lineman, a tackle. We're pretty good at guard. Gilmore had some good games, played great Monday night against the Chargers. Yeah, that game was identical to the 2021 game. It was still 20-17, the exact same score of week 2, 2021. Boy, that was a hell of a game there. And then at safety, for some reason, Justin Simmons, who was a top flight guy at safety, still out there. I don't know why. Micah Hyde, Marcus May, Quandre Diggs, and I'll put J-Ron Curse in the top 5 because out of the last 3 seasons, besides last year, he's played pretty good. He ain't coming back, of course. So we're not going to sign Justin Simmons, even though he's probably the best FA available. As a Seahawks fan, D-Law, Parsons, Diggs, and Bland made me nervous. So there's Dak and 88. Yeah, so going to CD Lamb, Justin Jefferson just got his deal, 4 years, 140 million, 110 guaranteed. So it's only 30 million not guaranteed. That's 35 million APY. It's more than Nick Bosa, more than any other non-quarterback. So they see him get signed. The wide receiver for the Lions got signed, St. Brown. So now it's time for CeeDee Lamb to get his money, and they need to make it happen before training camp because he will hold out. He's not at OTAs right now. Dak is. Micah Parsons was there for one day and then left. I mean, he should be there as an example for the youngsters, but he don't need to be there. His workout regimen is so much more vigorous and bigger than what they're doing at OTAs. So he's getting himself ready again. APY, Eric, basically how much you're making per year on average. So Justin Jefferson, 4 years, 140 million. That's average 35 million a year. You know what I'm saying? That's APY. So that would stand for annual percentage yearly or annual payout yearly, something like that. Nick Bosa is like $34 million a year on average. Because you know the contracts are kind of funny. 1 year it could be 20 million, the next year 60, kind of like Dax is. But yeah, they need to get 88 signed before training camp so he doesn't hold out. You know, we wait till the last minute to do all that. Prescott, I mean, if we were to extend him now, it would save so much money opposed to doing it after this season. Because there's some quarterbacks, who are about to get paid, and it's going to drive the price up even more. I know the salary cap's going up, but, why why do that? I go back to the 2018 season where Dak, we start 3-5, we finish 10-6 after we get Coop. Dak wins his first playoff game against Russell Wilson, goes to the Coliseum, plays good against the Rams, but we lose by 8. And they were down to sign for $25 million a year. Prescott was down to do that. And the Joneses wait as they're going into Dak's last year. And they wait till 2019 season starts, and they haven't inked them to $25 million a year yet. And we start against Giants, Washington, and Miami. And Dak looks great in those 3 games against those horrible teams. Kellen Moore's calling an air raid offense. And then after a 3-0 start, they believe in him, and they're like, Hassan Ridgeway is available. Yeah, at defensive tackle. He is. I don't know a lot about him, though, personally, so that's why top 5 DTs, I had Campbell, Guy, Joseph Woods, and Alalu. But I'm pretty sure Ridgeway is better than Colston or whatever. You can't wait till the last day before training camp. Yeah, exactly. And so we start 3-0, and the Joneses are like, okay, Dak is looking really good as a passer. Let's sign him to that deal now. And they call his agent, and his agent's like, haven't you seen Dak last 3 games? It's against trash teams. His completion percentage, this and that, blah, blah, blah. No, we want a lot more than $25 million a year. If they'd have just signed him after the playoffs, it could have been a 4-year, $100 million contract instead of a 4-year, $160 million contract. That would have saved $60 million on the cap. Think of what we could have done with that. But that's what they do. So, I'm excited to see what moves we make with this $9.5 million that Gallup has left us. Now, it sucks that Gallup never recovered from that injury, that knee. He was, this 3rd-round pick. He was good as a rookie. 2019, he balled out. 2020, he was good. 2021, he was good. He was never a number 1. He was an okay number 2. He was a very good X receiver on the outside. That's where he thrived. Big guy, good over the middle, good on deep balls, jump balls, but he never could trust that knee again. And we got Brandon Cooks, who is better than Gallup, I believe, faster than Gallup still. And in year two in this system with Dak and this offense will thrive opposed to last year. The second half of last year, they finally figured out how to get Cooks involved. Cook said this year he's going to ball out, and I believe him. I believe we have 2,000-yard receivers and a 1,000-yard tight end. How you really feel about Dak? Can he do it with this ability? Can he elevate the team? Yes, he can. If you look at my video a week or two ago, I make the comparison, and I'm not saying that they're even close in skill-wise, but my favorite quarterback of all time is the Sheriff, Peyton Manning. I mean, that if the Patriots would have drafted Peyton Manning, they'd have won 9 Super Bowls under him. Peyton's first 8 seasons, he had 3 playoff wins. Dak has 2. In Peyton's first 8 seasons, he was a regular season god. In the regular season, he would kill it. Just like Prescott seems to. And then when the playoffs would come, it's a different story. And then after the 2005 season, when they went 15-1 in 2005. Steelers come in, knock them off, 21-18. After that game, Peyton Manning had the narrative that he can't get it done in January. That was the narrative on him. And then the following year, the team came together, played as a team. In the playoffs, a wild card game against the Jets was a defensive battle they won. And then they go on the road against Baltimore, a defensive battle 15-6. And then at home against New England, they're down 21-3. Then Peyton has to show up and an amazing offensive comeback, 38-34. And then in the Super Bowl, a team win against Chicago after Devin Hester returns the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Peyton did make it to 1 championship game in his first 8 years. Dak hasn't. But, 3 playoff wins, 2. That's only 1 more that Peyton had. And Peyton had good teams those first 8 years, especially on offense. He always had a good offensive line. He had Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Edgerrin James, Dallas Clark. He had weapons. 2006, he had Joseph Adai, but Edgerrin James was a really good running back. Marvin Harrison, we know what he's about. We know what Reggie Wayne was about. And the defense, was small but fast and good and could make plays. They weren't a horrible, porous defense. So, yeah, of course, I believe Prescott can get it done. Now, in the preseason this year, if Trey Lance goes off in all 3 games and is like 4 touchdowns, no picks, 350 yards, plays flawlessly, then that's going to put a lot of pressure on Prescott to make it to at least a championship game this season, because then a lot of people are going to be riding high on Trey Lance. The boy has skills. That's why we traded for him. But, Cooper Rush is very adequate backup, as we saw 2 years ago. Saved the season after we, lost week 1 against Tampa. Won the first 4 and then almost beat Philly at Philly. Would have beat Philly if he wasn't so... He got caught up in his emotions for the first time. We had 4 turnovers in our own territory in the first half, and still it was 20-17 in the fourth quarter. Cooper Rush knows his limitations, but Rush also knows when he needs to turn it on, he can. If y'all remember against the Giants, in the third quarter, Saquon Barkley scores. They take the lead. We're down 13-6, and then Cooper Rush engineers 3 straight scoring drives. Touchdown, field goal. It was 10 for 10 or 11 for 11 on those drives, as an example, But, so those are the free agents that are out there right now. And there's a lot of them. Matt Breida, or if they trade for that Khalil Herbert from Chicago, 1-year guy. It's a 1-year rental just like Zeke. He has 1 year left on his deal, but he's only $1.06 million against the cap. That'd be a very cheap trade. And we have 4 fifth-round picks. Deal him a 5th. Get that boy. He had 600 yards on the ground last season. It's exactly what we need, somebody like that. Miles Sanders would be great too, but his contract's big. Carolina would have to eat a lot of that money. I think the big confidence game for Dak is to finally beat San Fran. Yeah, that the 49ers to Dak is what New England was to Peyton Manning in early 2000s. And it's going to take Dak a game where he has to reach down deep in his gut and pull out a huge win like Peyton did in 06 against the Patriots. When he throws that pick six to Asante Samuel and it's 21-3, 21-0. Here we go again. Peyton Manning became a man that game, came back and beat the Patriots in that defense 38-34. Now, I don't know if we beat them week 8 at San Francisco because it's at San Fran. For the 4th straight game, it'll be at San Francisco, which kind of sucks, but we'll be coming off a bye week. I have a loss in that game, but we'll be coming off a bye week well rested. You never know. You never know. I believe if Terrence Steele wouldn't have got hurt in 2022 because he was running people over, and Tony Pollard didn't break his leg in the second quarter of that playoff game at San Fran in 2022, that we wouldn't have lost by 6. Tony Pollard was very explosive. When he went down, all we had was Zeke and CeeDee Lamb. Pollard was our X factor that year. And we only lose by 6 at San Fran, so we can get it done. We need to be healthy, as San Fran was in that game. Yeah, San Francisco's been a thorn. Got to get over that hump. Yep. San Fran is to Dak, as New England and Tom Brady was to Peyton Manning. But Peyton's first 8 seasons, 3 playoff wins to Dak's 2. Not much different. In Dak's regular season stats and record is very similar to what Peyton Manning's was, regular season gods. And in January, can't get it done. And that's the narrative right now. Only way to change it is to do something about it. And this team's going to be good this year. A lot of people are down on it, talking mess, because all the guys that we lost, and we didn't bring much in, just like 2022. And that was our best season that we had of the 3 12-5 seasons, was the 22 season. Even though we were the second seed last year, we went further in 2022 and played San Fran down to the bone, 23-17. What time is it now? It is 10:14 Central Time. Everybody, I appreciate y'all for jumping in. We had a lot of people in tonight. This is my biggest live show by far. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Chris Gons, thanks for being here. You're the moderator. So if somebody like Pineapple, whatever, floods the chat or does what he does, Chris, you block him or put him in timeout or whatever, man. Eric Wallace, thanks for jumping in, guys. I'm going to close it out with this. Keep God first and foremost. He comes before everything, even this. Seek him in his righteousness, and all these other things will be added unto you. I'm living testimony of that, and I'm going to a deep valley right now, but I know that the light's at the end of the tunnel. It's not far away. Keep your faith in the Lord always, no matter how dark it seems. I'm looking forward to football season. That's one of the things in life that I love and enjoy doing. Charles, a defensive tackle also. He tested Baltimore, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. Yeah, week 3. I got us winning that game, by the way, because it's at home. We're 16-1 in the last 17 games at home. The Green Bay game was an aberration. And, Larry Allen, only 52 years old. That's my son, Charles, right there. Yeah, Larry Allen. He's got long hair like I did when I was his age. Yeah, 52 is way too young to go. But I got autographed football from him, and I'm going to put that in a nice little thing, little whatever, glass case or whatnot. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night, a good Monday night, and a good rest of the week. I appreciate it, Chris. Appreciate it a lot, brother. Hopefully, we have some news to report this week, some moves of some sort. We have open roster spots. Hopefully, it's not filled with guys that are on the roster already. We need to bring in some outside people. I know we love our guys. but we got to bring in a few guys from the outside. That's just what you got to do. And Chris, Eric, help me think of a good sign-off line. Law Nation as is, you're listening to nothing but the best. Rome as is, I'm here, back like I never left, something like that. Mark Holmes as his opening line deal. So after all this time, I still don't have one. So if y'all can think of one, let me know. That'd be cool, man. Other than that, it is what it is. It's Charles in Charge. Cowboy Sports Report is out. I'll see y'all guys soon. Be safe, keep it real.